What is up, YouTube family? Tio here, back at you again for some more lake breakdowns. I'm super excited tonight, though, because this is our final Google Earth breakdown for Toledo Bend, and then we switch over to the Offshore Hotspots, getting ready to wrap this lake up. And you know it is a monster lake. Hey, tonight we're going to cover more of the south end, still staying on the west side, on the Texas side, and then we're just going to move our way south and see what we can uncover. I've got lots of good stuff for you. Make sure to check this video out. Hey, and remember, we're running a promo on Toledo Bend. All you have to do is go out to our site, simplisticfishing.com, and type in the code Toledo20 and then the percent sign that gives you 20% off the Toledo Bend card or the digital file. So go check it out. Let's jump into this thing, see what we can find. Here we go. So if you've been through my breakdowns before for Toledo Bend, thank you for sticking around. We are finally at the final video for Toledo Bend, as I mentioned. And if you missed them before, I put a link up at the top there for you guys. You can check that out. That'll take you all the lake breakdowns. And basically, you can look at Toledo Bend or you can look at all the other lakes that we have out there. We're getting close to 40 that are out there. So real quick, just kind of a real quick recap of what we do here. So we start off on Google Earth. We draw the water down. In this example, I've got it drawn down to 2012. This lake, as you've seen before on the other videos, you go watch it, it's tough for me to find things because the water doesn't draw down as much, but we did find a lot of stuff. So there's still plenty to find, but I think there'd be even more if the water would draw down a little more, but just not as much fluctuation. But over here on the left-hand side, you'll see this tree over here. And what we've done is we basically organized everything by different kinds of points. So in Toledo Bend's case, we've got all the offshore stuff. So if you just wanted to see the offshore hotspots, which we're going to do a whole video series on the offshore hotspots for this lake. This would be all your offshore hotspots that would be on Toledo Bend. So if I move this up to 2021, you'll see them all out there, and there are a ton of them that are out there. So what we've done is we went out to Navionics and we've marked each one of these spots. So we're basically looking for all those primary hotspots for fishing, and then we've marked them on Navionics and then imported them in to Google Earth so that you can see everything all together. So pretty cool stuff that we've done here. We've also got all kinds of other stuff that's been marked: bridges, ramps, bends and swings. We got your creek channels that are all marked with tracks. You can see those down here. The grass I've taken out. So I've left it in there, but I'm actually not going to go over and review it with you guys today, because my understanding is the grass is gone. And then we've also got the cover, and we've got different points that we want to point out to you. And then the best thing here is these Texas Park and Wildlife fish attractors. And we'll probably talk about those when we talk about the offshore as well, but we got all those marked for you too. So last time we were talking, we got pretty far down the lake. We got to this J&L Drive place, so I got to go find it again. I had it on my map just a minute ago, so it won't take me long. So we stopped right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at J&L Drive, and we're going to continue working our way all the way south down to the dam to right here. That is where we're actually going to stop, because that's where we started. So if you've been with me, again, thank you so much for sticking with me through this whole thing. This has been a long lake breakdown, but I hope you guys are really able to take advantage of this. It will take you years to fish all these points, but hopefully if you're fishing in certain areas, you can at least take advantage of some of this stuff. So I'm going to draw this thing back to 2012, and we're going to go back up here to J&L, and we're going to start right there, work our way down, see what we can find. So we've got a ramp right there at that J&L Drive. And then as you go through here, didn't see too much stuff to mark for you guys, just a lot of the same type bank line. Not saying it's bad places to fish, but just from a Google Earth standpoint, nothing really to point out to you guys. Also have some ramps that are back here as well. Got another one in here. And then if you get right in here, also this little tip right here, I would check this out right here. This looks like a little bit of a hard spot maybe. It could be here, so check that out. And then back here, you got a little bit of rock that's out here right off the edge. There's not very much rock in here at all, but it looks like there's a little bit right in there. So you've got those couple of spots that are back here. Let's see what else we found that was back in here. Not too much back in here other than just this ramp to take a look at. And you guys have heard me talk about ramps before. If you can get on these, especially personal ramps, you get on that ramp pattern, it can be dynamite. So make sure to at least check out a couple ramps when you're fishing around. And if you're like, whoa, I'm starting to catch fish on the ramps, bingo, you're on a pattern. And you can run that ramp pattern really quick with all these points. So as you move further down, we've got some more brush that's down here you can take a look at. Looks pretty interesting. I don't know what is going on here. Now the Google Earth image makes it a little bit tough. It definitely looks like you got some brush and stuff to fish around right off that little point. And it looks like you might have some decent little depth coming back here from whatever this is. May even have a ramp back here too. The image is just kind of tough to see on that one. As we move further back here, not too much to mark for you guys. Couple ramps, just some interesting stuff to fish around for sure, but nothing to really point out to you guys. Also some more ramps right in here. Lots of docks and things to fish around. As you move up here, again, just not seeing too much until we get right around in here. We did find a little bit of rock that was up here. So they've kind of cut this channel out. And then what you see on the sides here, you got a little bit of rock just right up here along the sides of it. So definitely take a look at that. See if you can find anything there. As you move further down, again, not seeing too much in these areas. We got some ramps that are back here. And then as we move further out here, we finally get to where we're starting to see some stuff, via Google Earth. But again, guys, this is tough because you're only seeing probably like a 3 or 4 foot fluctuation. So that's not going to give us too much to find. So a lot of the stuff we're finding is really close to the bank line. So you'll see it here too. But if you're on that shallow rock pattern, you found a really good spot right here because you got rock here, some more rock because you got an old ramp that's in there. Also some more rock around these docks. So all these docks kind of have rock behind them. You can see as I move further down, we've got even more rock in here. Some additional rock over here behind these docks. So all these areas could be really good areas. You've also got some more in here, another ramp, more rock off that point. That's a really good area. And then further down here, you've got just some more scattered rocks. So that area right there, actually, I missed one more. There's one more with some more rock in there, but right in there could be really good. That's main lake stuff. It's shallow rocks. It could be really good productive for you, depending on the time of year. Now, also moving back in here, we've got some ramps. So I've got another ramp in there. And then moving over through here, all this whole lake looks like I could fish the entire thing. It just looks awesome. You've also got some more rock right here off this point. And then, of course, the image kind of gets a little shady back in there, so you can't tell what's going on. But we'll talk about this probably on the offshore stuff too. But you got a good Texas Park and Wildlife fish track that's out there, so you'll see that point out there on your grass if you get that card. You've also got another decent little point that comes out here we can check out. And again, we'll probably talk about that on offshore stuff when we talk about points. And then when we get further back in here, we see some ramps, or a ramp. And then around this dock, so not a lot of these docks have rock, but this one had a little pile of rock right around it, so that one could be interesting. And then as we move further around here, again, just some rock right off this point. Some a little bit of rock right in this area as well, and then you've got a ramp back there too. So some pretty decent stuff that's out there, but nothing too crazy, again, from a Google Earth side. When we add in the grass stuff, that adds a lot of different stuff because there was heavy grass back in these pockets. So if that grass is still there, check those out. I'm going to go ahead and leave them out there on those points, but again, I just don't want to false advertise here and tell you there's grass back there when there's not. But if there is grass back there, these can be really good areas to fish around. All right, so I'm going to keep moving down. We've got some more rock that's right in here. So right off the edge there. Probably some kind of creek channel swing or something is causing that rock. We've also got a little bit more down here. And you can see where the land gets white like that, that's going to be more of your harder areas. So you definitely want to take a look at those areas. Right there and right there. And then I'm going to keep moving back. We got a pretty decent little creek channel that we marked for you guys. So you got a nice little creek channel coming back through here. All kinds of good stuff to fish back in here. This whole area looks good. And then as we move up here, you're going to see that we've got a lot of different spots marked with rock. So you got a lot of different hard spots that are right in this area for whatever reason. So we've marked each one of them for you. I don't want to bore you guys with each one of them, but you can see them each here. We've marked them all for you. So as you go up there, you'll notice. And you can kind of see, even from this view, being a little bit further back, it's pretty much all the spots with the really white stuff on. This one here looks really good, how it's a little bit further out. And you got a really nice pile. Look at that. This looks absolutely juice going out there. For sure fish that one. That would be probably one of the best spots of all of these that we've marked here for you guys. But you got some rock here, rock around the points. So just some really good stuff right in here. And then other than the all the rocks, if you come back in here, you've also got some pretty good brush that you can flip around. So kind of a little isolated section of some pretty good looking brush. So take a look at that stuff. And then again, just focus on, if you're out here on that rock pattern, focus on these different points, because all these points have rock or a hard spot right off the edge of them. And you can see where we've kind of marked more of the high percentage areas in those spots. So as we move further down here, you also maybe want to check out here off the edge of these islands where the hard stuff is. Where it gets really shallow, those are usually not too good areas to fish. But right there where you get those bigger breaks, those are good spots. All right, so then moving down here, you've also got some hard area right here around this point. You've got some brush back in here you can take a look at. This stuff's really hard to see with these images. You've also got, now again too, if this grass and stuff is gone, this might look a little bit different, but you've also got some brush that's tucked in way back in there. You've got some rock off of this point that looks good. So a little harder point amongst a bunch of nothing. A little more hard spot right there as well. And then just some brush that was buried in here, looks like just a little lay down or something like that, nothing too crazy. And then as we get back over here, again, looking at those points, see how it's just sandy looking, and then all of a sudden you can tell there's rock here because it's that harder point. So definitely look on those points with those harder spots. Also got another point here. I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get out to talking about the navionics side as well. Got some more rock that's right here off of this point. This one's a little bit harder to tell because you got all that cover that's right there, but definitely a little bit of rock just right off the edge of that. And then as you move further back in here, just real good pockets, right? Real good spawning pockets and stuff like that, but nothing that we could really point out to you and say, hey, you need to go here and fish because I can see this on Google Earth and you probably can't see it on your boat. But I couldn't really put anything out there for you for that. But we did have some brush back in here. So take a look at that. And then as we move further down here, we've got some more brush down in here as well. So as I zoom in, if it ever catches up with me, it's having a hard time catching up with me, you're going to start seeing these stick-ups and things like this that are right around this little shoreline. So these can be really good to flip around. Love those stick-ups to flip around, especially when you can find isolated clumps of them. When you can find the isolated clumps of them, I feel like you just do a lot better. And that's really anything in bass fishing. If you can find something that's a little isolated or a little bit different than everything else, that's what you need to be fishing. And that's typically where you're going to find those fish at. So this is a pretty cool little area back here in the lake. So as we kind of tuck back in here, there are a couple different things that we can point out. There's some brush back in here by these docks. There's also a little personal ramp there. Got another ramp right in here. As we move further back, not seeing too much again in there, but coming up here, we do have some brush close to this dock too. So that could be interesting, but all of this stuff, you could flip around, all this stuff looks good. And then I'm going to move back up. We got some more rock that's right here. Kind of not a lot of rock in this area. Gonna maybe have a little concrete pad there possibly. No, it's not even what that may be. That may be a concrete pad. So we move over here, we've got some rock that's right in here, pretty good sized rock. And then maybe a little personal ramp there you can check out. Moving those pockets, not seeing too much there. As we get around the point here, we get out here and there's another little underwater point. Again, we'll probably talk about this in the offshore stuff. Got a pretty good little underwater point there. It looks like it could have some rock or a little bit of hard surface on it. You got some brush that's buried back in here. In one of these coves. If I zoom in here, you'll start seeing a pretty good line of them. You could flip around. And then we move further out, we got some more rock that's off the tips of these points. So you can check those out right here and right there. Pretty good spots. Really like that one, but if you're fishing secondary points, this could be a good spot as well. So it's really all going to be dependent upon seasonal patterns and stuff like that. You've also got some rocks back in here. So all of these little areas where we just marked them, you got little points that come out here that you can't really tell. I really like those. Got some more brush back in here. Another pretty good little point here that comes off. Some more rock back in this area. So we look here, that's more like riprap-ish. Got some more concrete, but then right off the edge of it, you can see that there's some rock or something. So that spot right in there, take a look at that. Also, that seawall looks pretty good too. I'd definitely fish around that. Got some brush that's over here. And then as we move our way back up here, we've got another point that comes out that looks pretty decent. Again, we'll cover that on the offshore stuff. We got some laydowns that are over here that look pretty good. That's a really big laydown. That could be a ramp, so check it out. Not sure how far in the water that goes. It didn't look very promising. You've also got some more rock that's out here off the tip of this point. You've got some brush that you could flip around over here right off the tip. Let's take a look at that. That may even be a brush pile. It's kind of hard to tell, but look in here. Plus, you got a little bit of hard spot right there too. So just check out this point. Maybe get a little bit further out too and check it out. See what you can find. Moving over here, you've got some pretty good rock coming off the edge of this point. So take a look at those two spots. This is right around this dock. So you can see if I zoom in, you'll start seeing how it's kind of a hard area right through here. All of it's white, so you're probably going to find some scattered rocks, stuff like that. You may even have a lay down there. These are hard to tell because sometimes that tree's standing up and it looks like it's laying down. But if that is a lay down tree, that is a big old lay down, you should definitely check out off the edge of a point. You definitely got the rock that we're talking about there, and then you've got riprap that they put over here as well. So I'm gonna keep moving down. We got more rock just along this little edge. Again, this is the shallow water stuff, shallow water rock here as well. And then we get down here at Toledo Bend House. That's interesting. I don't know what that is, but it'd be interesting to know. We got rock here as well. A ramp down here. More rock off the edge of this point. You can see the riprap over here. So we'll definitely, you'd want to look around that, especially if you're on that rock pattern again. Got a little bit of rock right here off the edge of this point. Not seeing too much back in here. We've got a ramp back here. Got a little point to look at. And then we got 3 different spots back in here. We've got a laydown that's back here, pretty good size laydown. So take a look at that one. These little stick ups are here. So you got laydowns, stick ups. You got another laydown here. You got these stick ups or brush. I can't really tell what this stuff is, but these are all, guarantee it's good stuff to flip around. Just get a Texas rig and just flip around all that stuff. You probably have some pretty good success. Then we're going to move out here. We find some more rock. So right here by this dock, if you get around it, you'll see where it gets white. That's going to be more of your hard area. So take a look at that. Kind of looks interesting there too off that point. But again, can't tell what this stuff is. The image for this lake is just not as good as we like it to be. But then also up here, got some pretty good riprap going on around this point. And again, guys, we're starting to get close to that river channel, so you're getting in prime spots here. So take a look at this right here. I couldn't tell if this was real or fake, if this is just Google image messing with my eyes or what. But if you're over here scanning, fish this rock, and then just scan over right here and see what that is. And if that could be like old debris or something like that. But if it is, they could be attracted to that. So definitely take a look at that. This little rock pile here looks interesting too. There's another one right here, kind of these little man-made little points of riprap stuff. So it all looks interesting, but anytime you get those little points, they love to collect around those spots. As we move further back in here and it kind of swings off, we got a pretty decent little point right in this area. So you could look at that. And then I don't know if you can get back here. This almost looks like you got buoys, not allowing you to get back here. But if you can get back here, there's some brush back here. Actually, I guess there's docks back here, so you should probably get back here. That brush stuff to flip around, you can go back in there. Pretty tight little channel coming through here. But then there's also some brush right in here. And I don't think this image is going to show it to you very well, but I might have to move the date up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that without this internet being a mess. But check right in here and just see if you can find any brush right in that area. All right, so I'm going to keep moving down. We've got lots of laydowns right in this area, just a pile of them for whatever reason. So take a look at those. Those are always good spots to fish around. Got another ramp coming in here. And then off the edge over here, you've got some just like little rock piles that are coming out here. So you got a little rock pile there. Of course, you got the rock on the edge of the bank line too. Another one right in here. Another decent one right in there as well. So check those out. Those are pretty interesting. They're definitely unique. As we move further down here, we're just seeing some more riprap and rock. Again, just some little rock points, riprap rock points. Got good rock there. In here, you got a nice little point that comes out that they've built. But again, this is looking fairly shallow, so be careful. You've also got some light rock points that are in here. And then as we move further up here, off of this point, we've got a decent little rock formation going on out here too. And now that could go out a little bit further out. But I would set up out here, and cast in and just see what you can find, or just come out here and just scan all around this whole area. But I could see this being a really good spot to take a look at. As we're getting further down here, I think we're getting down here by the dam. We're actually almost finished with this thing. Crazy enough, we're on the last spot actually. So the last spot that I would pick would always be anytime you can get around these dams. It's like they put these buoys there, and the fish know those buoys are there, so they know we're not supposed to be fishing too much farther away from those buoys. It's like they set up there. But right here, these little points right in front of the dam, you can get some current, especially if they're pulling water, and these can be really good spots. Even when they're not pulling water, they're still going to be good spots. So go check those out. And that wraps us up for the Google Earth side. So basically, it gives us all the points from the Google Earth standpoint. And what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over on our next videos and talk about all the offshore hotspots that we put out there, which you guys saw. We had a ton of them that were out there. I don't know exactly how many, but there's quite a few. But we're going to go over all of those and talk about those in the next video, talk about why we think they're offshore hotspots, and really try to just cover all of it that we can. So we'll see what we can get done there. Again, go out, use that code Toledo 20% sign. Use that on simplisticfishing.com. Get you 20% off your card or your digital file. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take care.